Can I start?
Yes, please.
Good evening, good morning, and namaste to all the Utsahins for our monthly discussion on the topic right from the heart on financial literacy for all, practicing meaningful steps. I think you people might have observed a quotation in our invitation, right? You must gain it control of your money, or the lack of it will forever control you. So today's session is going to give us a brief on how we can control, manage, and have an upper hand over our money. So I would like to firstly welcome you all and also our guide, our inspiration, the founder of Utsahin, Mr. Ram Reddy Garu, all the founder members, our execution team, and all the members of Utsahin who are making such an amazing platform possible. Let me specially welcome our eminent speakers for today. So with a brief introduction about them. Our first speaker, Sri Jemmalamadaka Sachidanand Garu. He is consultant and practice cost accountant. He is basically finance professional with an industry experience over 3 decades covering electronics and telecom, pharmaceuticals, bulk drugs and formulations, consumer durables, defense products and others. Mr. Anand Garu is retired as General Manager, Finance Head from Electronics Corporation of India Limited, ECIL. He is an ex-faculty of students of Management Accountant at Hyderabad, Chapter of Cost Accountants. He is a guest faculty for finance students of Cost and Management Accounting. He is a Dean, Finance Projects for MBA students at ECIL. Welcome you, sir. Our second speaker for today, Mr. Ramesh CH. He is a strong advocate of financial education in schools. He is a postgraduate in pharma from Germany and presently holds the position as senior faculty for a pharmacy college. He is a follower of Robert Kiyosaki, author of all-time personal finance book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Ramesh started Kiyosaki's Club for 3 years back and presently has about 1,500 members community and regularly conducts financial education workshops under the title Cash Flow Workshops, Money Maths and Mindsets. Ramesh aspires to initiate a startup and train financial education teachers in the near future. We welcome you, Ramesh. Mrs. Geeta Lakshmi Garu, our third speaker. She has completed 32 years in the field of education as a teacher, headmistress, academic coordinator, and principal in CBSE schools. Still enjoys being with kids and fellow teachers. She is associated with Rani Public School for 20 years as principal. Under her mentorship, the school has contributed a lot of innovations with support of the management and her ever-cooperating staff. Her school has introduced financial literacy for the students in the year 2015 itself. She is a recipient of National Award for the Best Teachers from President of India. She received the Global Teachers Award from CET and GTE Foundation. Her school is the first and only CBSE school in Kerala to get accredited by the Quality Council of India, NABET. We proudly welcome you all. So now, without any ado, let me welcome our facilitator for today, Mr. Raghuram sir, for taking over the proceedings. Raghuram sir, the control is yours.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Charan, and wonderful speakers around, and all Utsahins and all guests who is attending this very important topic. I'm sure financial literacy is the most concerned thing, which makes us disturbed as well as happy, both the things, and to the maximum extent also. And we'll get to know all these things through our wonderful speakers here. And as always, it's said that financial literacy is a confluence of the financial, credit, and the debt management, and it's a knowledge that is necessary to make any financial responsible decisions by us, and the decisions that are very integral to our everyday lives. A lack of financial literacy is a problem not only in the emerging or developing economies, but also in the developed and advanced economies also. And in order to understand and negotiate the financial landscape, the managing the financial risk effectively, and to avoid the financial pitfalls, and this is the very important event, I guess. And we have a wonderful speakers here, and let me welcome first Anand Garu for taking up us through the wonderful, wonderful journey of understanding what happens if we don't respect the finance. Over to you, Anand Garu.
Thank you, Raghuram. Good evening to everyone. I think most of our listeners, audience are in India. That is the reason why I'm saying that good evening. First of all, the question that was placed to me is the level of financial knowledge among the students in India at par with the rest of the world? Definitely, it is not. Then the second part of the question that was posed to me is, now, how can we improve that? I went through some of the data also, which I was browsing through yesterday. I found out there was a report by Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad, maybe a little dated, but more or less whatever they said, it holds good even now also. Only 22%, maybe 25% now, if you allow for some updating also, of the students in India are financially literate. Less than 50% of the students, they know about the simple interest, but they don't know application of the compound interest also. As I gathered the information, most of the students have that knowledge, like physics when we say, potential energy, like they have the knowledge, but the application part of it is very sadly lacking. That is really a very sorrow state of affairs there. But what do we do? What can we possibly do to overcome this type of a deficit in the knowledge of the financial literacy on the part of the students there? There is the SEBI resources that sometime back they have published a report, the active cooperation by several institutions also. In that, I went through the report myself. There are several exercises that are suggested there to gain financial literacy. For example, budgeting part of it, monitoring of daily expenditure of income and expenditure also. For instance, let me say, I want to buy a cricket bat, but how a smart student can really do that? Yeah, I would like to save some money in order to buy the cricket bat. That is a way of putting it. Similar exercises, similar type of questions are brought out by SEBI also. I suggest that one should go through that report and further improve for the application part of it. I believe that is one of the steps we can suggest also to overcome this deficiency in the financial literacy on the part of the students also. The second question that was put to me is now, does vocational education and trades in the higher education help in financial literacy? I always can say with a monosyllable saying that yes, it can happen. But how? The point is now, in the vocation means basically it is a profession. Whenever these vocational studies are introduced in the syllabus, what happens is you tend to develop a commercial outlook. Once you know whatever that activity you want to keep on undertaking, it has to be by default to be linked with the finance. What happens? It means what? Developing an attitude of measurability. Every activity can be possibly converted into the measurable one. For instance, let me say that if a student is very bright, we say very good, etc. But instead of that, if you can possibly say that on a scale of 1 to 5, the student is placed at 3 means it says more than merely saying good or bad or efficient also. That is the meaning of measurability. All of us can say that measurability, efficiency, etc. But the modus operandi is lacking many a time. I believe this is one of the things one needs to check up that SEBI report also. It is available in the open domain. One can go through that. If not already, someone has already done that. That is one thing. Within the limited time made available to me, I thought I would say this one only at this point of time, subject to my getting consulted on this issue a little later. Now, third one is tips for having the financial freedom. Yes, we need to have lots of things there. Any financial freedom means more revenue, less cost control or expenditure also. In my days, even my children also, in order to boost the revenue in the vacation, holidays, etc., they were undertaking organizing some carnivals at a minimum price so that they used to invite so many people in the colony itself, so that they used to put a price, a rate, so that they can get their own pocket money. That is number one. Number two, planning for their own expenditure, budgeting part of it also, how they can possibly do it. That is one thing there. Number two is now getting interaction from the bankers also. You on your own, you organize in the a group of students, your own friends from the school, and go to certain banks nearby, find out what is happening around. For instance, now, can we possibly that how do we get education loans? This is certain voluntary groups can be formed, so that in order to overcome this deficiency also, certain things you can undertake. Always you can do that. Tips are also there. I got several things, in fact, how a smart student can be developed from an ordinary student. Always an inbuilt, that financial literacy can be inbuilt by converting everything into a measurable one. That is very, very essential, sir. I got a few more things also here. In fact, maybe perhaps later I can always do that. One is this, in certain, when you are in holidays, on vacation there, you volunteer yourself for in exhibitions or in some functions, etc., some services also, like scouts, etc., comes there, so that some revenue always you can get. Revenue part you can maximize, track your expenditure. I think that is a few of the tips I can always think of. Plan for the future also, long term, not only short term, for future also. Secondly, in our old days, we used to play a game called trade. I don't know, many people still, I believe, they remember that. So that they used to understand business trade.
Yeah.
There were some business games exclusively meant for the students also. In fact, some 30 years, 20 years back, I used to play myself also. That used to cultivate a sense of financial discipline there. What is the fee? How do you track your fees? How much my parents are paying then? How are they getting then? Normally, I could see from the survey also, people having a lot of parents having financial discipline, they tend to inculcate such discipline or literacy also in their own children. And that is as per the survey also. Then how do we propagate? Instead of globally saying, how do we do that now? It has to be, it is linked with the attitude, psychology, income levels, right? Right. Our tendency is to standardize, but unfortunately, I don't agree with this one. We need to decentralize the steps to be undertaken there. How do we really do that? These are all important, I believe. These are the tips. Last one is now, that is given to me is there a way to come out of the mountain of debt? It is something not in related to the level of trend of the question that was put before that rescheduling your debt, right? If you've got a loan with a higher interest, you swap it with some other loan with having a lower interest there. Think of education loan, certain things. How do you maximize revenue? I think, I believe that is at this point of time, I can say that within the given time there. Mr. Raghuram, did I exhaust my time?
No, another 2 more minutes, sir.
Okay, I think.
Yeah.
I think let me conclude that.
Yeah.
I strongly suggest that such type of sessions also can be further supplemented by organizing some more sessions like this with little more time, so that maybe I'll try to attempt giving some exercises also, illustrate, so that for the benefit of one and all. I mean, students in particular there.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much, Anand Garu. And I know it's very difficult for you to summarize yourself within 10 minutes time. And the experience you have got of 33 years of experience in guiding your own
Audio is not coming.
I think there's some technical issue. So
we lost the audio.
Yeah,
I believe.
yeah, I'll check on the issue then. I think we can proceed with our next speaker, Ramesh.
Self into these.
Okay, he's back.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are, sir.
Now.
Yeah. Okay, okay, and yeah, I maybe missed out a few things which I have, and thank you so much, Anand Garu, and for making it short and sweet, and remembered by us. Like the SEBI report which you have mentioned is very important for us. I feel we normally don't read it, but we heard it from you, and we are very good listeners, and this helped us. And the second one which you have told is activity connected with measurability. I'm sure we will try to do this particular thing also, and valuing the luxury, looking into that particular part of it, and interaction with banking professionals. And this very important thing probably anybody can do. Otherwise, always it's just filling up the form and getting it done. Whether interest has been debited into the credit or into the account or not, we just check that, and what makes that come into picture. And these are all very important, which we can learn from the banking professionals who are lively there always for our help. And volunteering yourself is another very wonderful part you are told. Thank you so much. And these are the takeaways from you. And apart from this, your experience have shown in your brief talk. Thank you so much. Since we have got advocate of financial education in school. He is a pharma graduate. He's a pharma postgraduate, and his interest and concern towards finance, like everybody of us, has made into a follower of Robert Kiyosaki, and he's going to take us through this journey of inculcating financial education in schools. Over to you, Ramesh.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity to Raghuram, Sai Charan, and all the greetings to all the members, and from whatever the world it is. First of all, I just would like to why financial literacy for all. For this, I just would like to give us some small exercise for all the participants over here. Just type in Google if it is possible for you. Wealth distribution of your favorite country, for example, wealth distribution of India, and wherever you are in. For example, if you are in America, just type in Google that wealth distribution of America. And if you are in Germany, for example, wealth distribution of Germany. Then we'll come to know what is the importance of the financial literacy or financial education. Now, I think so. If I would like to take the example of India, where we are residing, most of the people who are participants, the Oxfam report has mentioned in 2018 is that wealth distribution in India is as follows. 1% of the richest people in India are holding about 73% of the wealth. So what does it mean? It means that remaining 27% of the wealth will be shared among the 99% of the population. So I think so you can able to understand that what is the importance of financial education or financial literacy for the people. So into overly simple terms, if you can say that there are 100 people and 100 rupees circulated among the people, then one person is holding 73 rupees. And the remaining 99% of the population of people are have to fight, deceit, and have to do any kind of activity to get their share in that 27%. So I think we understand that what is the importance of what is the result, or what does it mean? It means that 99% of the people are not having financial education, or financial literacy is not enough for them to get their fair share. So with that, I just would like to make the people understand from my readings is that there are three kinds of education. So we all are educated, right? So at least in developed countries, most of the people are educated in formal education. So in our research, we were able to find out that there are three kinds of education are there prevailing in general. One education is that academic education, that means to simply say up to 10th class, there is no specialization, but up to 10th class, the people can able to read, write, and do some basic maths. So that is called academic education. And second type of education is professional education. That means that education is going to make us teachers, chartered accountants, doctors, engineers, or whatever it is. But if at all the people who are having that academic education and professional education, if that education is going to help them to get rich and wealthy, I don't think so. The statistics, whatever we have discussed about that wouldn't have been there. It means that we have something which is lacking. which is called financial education. Now, when the people speak about financial education, the people think about that becoming chartered accountants, becoming business owners, becoming CEO of the company. It is not that education. Academic education, financial education is totally different from that of the academic education and professional education. So now the question I would like to ask is that what the people would like to become by having financial education? So I think so. How many people would like to become rich and wealthy? Because I think on the planet, everybody, it's a commodity for everybody to earn money for themselves and for their family and for the society. For example, if somebody is not able to make enough money for themselves, then how can the people are going to help the society? So it is a need of the hour to have the financial education so that they are going to make themselves money and to their family and to the society. So if you would like to do so much to the society, it is obviously needed that somebody has to become rich and they have to get their fair share of wealth by having financial education. Now, the question is that the people doesn't even know that because more than 90% of the population on the planet is suffering with the subject of money. How can I say that? For example, now we can see that so many banks are bankrupting. So many people are bankrupting. For example, Anil Ambani has bankrupted. What is that? It is made them to bankrupt. For example, they are not able to make payments. They are not able to make some enough cash flow so that they are able to, pay the debts or pay the salaries or whatever it is. It means that they are lacking financial education. And what we say through this one is that the people should be able to have the financial education, which is not a rocket science. In my research, the people should be able to manage their financial statement. And financial statement, the people say that, okay, what is there in financial statement? We say that financial statement is the report card of our life. Whether we like the money or not like money, but we are, held by the money, subject of money. Until unless somebody does not understand, until unless somebody does not speak about subject of money, if somebody feels to talk about it, it has become a myth and taboo to talk about subject of money. So we want to make a change so that we want to unleash the myths and taboos around the subject of money and to talk about it and to make socialization. So I would like to address three simple questions which will be in general will be posed. Is it this education is only for children? No. Actually, if see, when we take the statistics, it is not about children. It is the adults too. The people should be able to have the financial education. Now, what I want to say is that the people are spending a lot of money on education. Is it worth enough to have the education or to spend money on the education? According to me, so if somebody would like to become rich and wealthy, somebody would like to have so much of money, then again, I say that there are three kinds of education, and the financial education is the one which is going to make us money. Okay. And now, when the people doesn't have enough money, so there are three kinds of money too. One is spiritual money. The people should be able to work for the spiritual money by their, how come that spiritual money is going to come? The spiritual money is going to come by solving the real problems of the money. But instead of working for spiritual money, the people are working for competitive money. So what is competitive money? That means the people are competing for employment, people are competing for businesses, people are competing for each other individual among the family members too. So what I would like to say that, so when the people get education, so what is that they would like to reach? So so many people doesn't even have the idea that what is that they are going to do with the money if they are able to earn. So they're getting educated, they're professionally educated, and then they become employees. And now the society is facing severe problem with unemployment. So now what I would like to say is that it is industrial age idea that by having mere education, we are going to have some certain kind of secure jobs. Okay. And that secure jobs is going to help, feed us lifelong till the retirement. And then we are going to surpass the money to the next generation. In my research, what I could able to find is that it is not the saving money for the education which is going to help the people, but it is the investing. So there are two kinds of things in the financial world: art of earning money, art of investing. These are the two things which make the people to be different with financial education. The people who invest, because by nature, money has to be invested. Okay, but most of the people, they think that by saving money, the people can reach their financial goals. It's not true. The art of investing and understanding about where they are financially and where do they want to go and what is the mathematics behind the money is going to help us to reach our financial goals. But the problem is that the people doesn't even know that. For example, if somebody is investing in the real financial world, when they're making financial deals, it is that they're not able to understand what is ROI. For example, every investment
Return
is
of
made
investment.
with the intention of getting larger amount of ROI. Thank you very much. And I just would like to say now, what I would like to say is, how come is that the financial literacy is going to help the people? So what I would like to make the people to understand is that if somebody is want to be individually rich and wealthy, it is not going to happen. The financial world is designed to make you rich by having corporations. That means as individual, if I'm earning a lot of money, I'm going to pay a lot amount of taxes. But if you have corporations on your name, then those corporations are going to help the society by giving jobs, and you are making other people to do some employment, and you are making you are running the economy, and you are making the people to pay taxes, and you are making use of other people's education, other people's experience, other people's expertise, other people's energy, and other people's everything who cannot themselves do for themselves, can't do by themselves. So you are taking the responsibility of entrepreneurship and businessman, and then you are going to set up a business corporation wherein you are going to solve the real problems of the society. So that's all from me. Thank you for this opportunity. Gratitude is an attitude, and Utsahin, thank you for this wonderful opportunity. So if you would like
Oh
to
my God.
have
Thank you, Ramesh. So much to think about. We were just thinking that earning is enough for us, and paying the tax will help us in be safe. Oh my God! And I would probably request on behalf of all the Utsahins that if you can put these particular thing in the form of a flow chart and share with us, that will be helpful
we
for
have.
us, because you have given a lot of
Can I,
connections between.
Raghuram sir,
Yeah,
Raghuram sir,
please. Yeah,
Raghuram sir, I
yeah.
have. I just would like to share one slide, if you permit, one slide which is answer for everything. One slide, if it is possible.
Because I have to make you co-host. That's why you can just share it, and I will share with all the people.
No.
Thank you so much at
No,
this moment.
okay.
Thanks a
Thank
lot.
you, sir. Thank you.
And please don't forget, please share with us. Thank you so much, and that will help
Yeah.
help our people also in that. Because you have given a lot of connections between two, and all these things. And I could make out only a few things. And the one thing which I have really loved the statement is financial statement is the report card for life. Yeah, definitely. We start using our previous diaries, old diaries, and all these things in writing all these things, but somewhere we are missing, maybe 5 rupees, 2 rupees also we are missing, and that makes a lot of difference in my income tax returns also. That's all. Thank you so much, and this will help us. Thanks. And now, yes, we have got she is a person, an inspiration for the entire, probably I would say that that particular locality, Vadakara, which is the northern part of Kerala, and she is the principal of Rani Public School, and we have her in the position as the 5 ambassadors of, I think if I'm right, it's 5 ambassadors of financial education in CBSE schools, and she is the only lady from South India. And we are privileged to have Mrs. Geeta Lakshmi for us in sharing her experience of financial education in schools. Over to you, Geeta, ma'am. Hello.
Good evening, all of you.
Yep.
And I think my area is mainly school. Is it audible, sir?
It's breaking.
So all of you agree with me that it's breaking. Is it okay, sir, now?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello? Hello? Oh, yes. So all of us agree that we all
Ma'am, there is, I think there is some issue with the internet connection. Geeta Lakshmi, ma'am, could you please check your internet?
And later on, what happens, that habits make us. And I think this is true in the case of financial security of our life. Because what habits we make of our financial status of and
Madam, could you please switch off your video and just talk? I think there is ma'am, please check your bandwidth, and we really wanted to listen to you. No.
okay?
Yeah, now your okay is okay. After this, nothing is okay. That's why.
Hello.
Are you using the mobile, ma'am?
Okay, sir. Oh, okay, sir. So I'll start again.
Yeah, please.
So, using the laptop. Shall I use the mobile?
Yeah, please switch over to that. And in the meantime, shall we go to the next person and get back to you, please? In the meantime, Geeta ma'am, we'll just get back to you.
Is it okay now?
Yeah, now it's okay. Now it's okay. Please.
Okay. So we all see it. We make habits. Later on,
Geeta ma'am, we'll get back to you. There is some problem with the issue. Just restart your system. In the meantime, we will complete the other part and come back to you, please. We'll come back to you. Thank you. All right, we will continue with the talk. And now, we have got Miss Manjusha. And she is the commerce. She holds the position as the HOD of Commerce and Economics Department of Delhi Public School, Nacharam, and Hyderabad. And yeah, needless to say, whatever our previous speakers, Anand Garu and Mr. Ramesh have shared, the practical experiences is very important, and she believes in these particular thing and makes her students to do all these things in her classrooms. And I have personally seen that, and I wish she can share that also in this particular platform. Manjusha, you have got 4 minutes time for inspiring us as you inspire your students. And needless to say, she is the most inspiring mentor for her students. Over to you, Manjusha.
Good evening, dignitaries. Namaste.
Namaste.
I was being said by Raghuram sir to talk about how do you motivate your students regarding financial literacy. I generally start in the classroom with compound interest, as Anand sir specified, simple interest, majority of them know, truly said. I start with compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it, who doesn't pays it. This is a general quote which we say in the class. And I asked him one question: did you ask your mom where your dad has gone? In the childhood time, they say, ma'am, where's dad? Then mom will reply to the child, dad has gone for a job. Why job? Earning money. See, the child at that time is remembering earliest money memory, we call it as earliest money memory. The child remembers, yes, my dad is going for job. Why? The second question comes, to buy toys for you. But he's not buying all the toys for me, mom. Then mother says, you should know what to do. That's the first step where I ask the questions. The child will reply me in the classroom when I ask all these questions. The second question which I generally put after this is, I ask them, do you know the term called income? Every child will say, yes, ma'am. And we ask about what is the income and proceedings of the income. Expenditure. What are the expenditures you do or the expenses you do for yourself? And the third term, when we come to budgeting, they say, what is that? Then I ask about utility bills you have at your place. Can you list out all the utility bills which you have? They say yes. So we put up 20,000 rupees and say, this is your utility bills. And are you saving anything? They say no. Then I talk about financial literacy in terms of starting as rocket science. It is nowadays called as a rocket science for me. It is going too fast, too fast. I give them a story here, generally stating that there are two members who are traveling in a flight. One is a scientist, an eminent scientist, and a normal person seated next to him. The scientist is doing a journey, almost 48 hours flight journey it is. So the scientist got bored and asked the next person, can we play a game? Yes, sir. What is a game? The game is, I'll ask you one question. So if you answer me that question, I'll give you $100. You can ask me one question. If I can't answer, you will give me the Indian currency. So the first question the scientist will ask, he is from US, and the Indian person seated next to him, he'll say, I don't know the answer, sir. Question is put by him, I don't know the answer. So the gentleman is getting $100, first stage. Second stage, this person who is an Indian ask again the gentleman one question. What is an animal which goes onto the mountain with 3 legs and come down with 4 legs? This man doesn't understand what is the answer. He scraps his head, mouse, and browses everything, but he doesn't know the answer. Then the coolie, the Indian man will be sleeping. He'll wake him up and ask. Curiosity increased in him. What is answer? I also don't know. So he gives 50 rupees here. He took $100 and he gave him 50. So he is an advantage. He is at an advantage completely. So I tell him, but the literacy here is not just earning money. The smartness of you to invest from zero level to a higher level. You should know from where you are investing. How are you investing? How should I invest? These are the two things I tell them in terms of my academically with students. Second aspect I always deal is I play a game with them, as Raghuram sir stated. I play a game with them. We have cyclic test. Every student is an existing company and the cyclic test are their net profit. I tell them net worth is very, very important. Their marks are your 96%. Then I advertise in the corridor room stating that everyone can buy the shares of so and so company whose net worth is 96%. Teachers do invest, sir. Teachers do invest 1 rupee, 2 rupees. We give them the share capital and we see whether the share capital is increasing to that particular company or not. We graph and give it to them. And this is how the children are learning how SEBI, as sir said, SEBI, we mark our own people as bull, bear, and stag. Our principal, our vice principal, and stag. We have 3 categories of people who always check on these. Every 15 days, we go up with the cyclic exam. Again, the percentage comes down, the value of the share also comes down. Who is making this value go down? Why? What is the reason? And we also discuss on crypto coin, how a crypto coin works. How a crypto coin works. What is the need of a cryptocurrency? Who does it? Who doesn't do it? Lot of activities go in terms of trading. In terms of trading, we make our own room as a trading center and ask them to invest money, and they come up with the investment procedures and the planning how they would like to go. And they also specialized in terms of conversion of money into Indian currency. Multinational companies, how they are coming and investing, what is the company in a host country getting the advantage or not, or other countries getting an advantage or not. These also they discuss. Now this is how I try to talk to them. Sir Raghuram sir, this is my literacy class introduction to the students when I go with the activities. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you so much, Manjusha. And yes, everybody. This is how her passion can be seen in her voice. And whenever I go for a classroom inspection for her, I have personally seen that. And yes, this is one way. Had we got a teacher like this when we were studying, at least till the 10th class, later on, we wouldn't have been. I wouldn't have been like that. At least I don't know how many of you are agreeing to this particular statement. It was a one. I mean, it's a great moment when children also understand these things, and they talk about. Let me tell you one instance here. My father has given me while when I got my first job, he has given me 10 L&T shares which he held. Somebody has given him. He is also not sure about it. He has handed over to me, and I am holding 10 shares from L&T. Recently somebody asked, and I used to get, the dividend of it also, sometimes, 350 rupees, 400 rupees, and all. I never knew, when I get the check in my name, it's fine. I go and deposit, that's all. I never look into, how I am getting this particular thing and what made me get this particular thing also. Suddenly I came to know that, one of my friend who, when I was going through the bank and depositing, he told me, sir, this is a L&T one, sir. It's a great company, sir. This particular thing is, valuing 3,000 rupees per share. Oh my God, I am holding 3 lakh rupees with me. It's something I never knew this particular thing. And she, such education for the children, if we can give, they will be fantastic for that. And similar student and such kind of students, the passionate towards commerce, economics and all. We have one Miss Bhavya Singh today to talk about these particular aspects. What made her inspiring? What made her closer towards money and take up the group that contains lot of such things to share with us her inspiration part in 4 minutes time. Bhavya, you have got 4 minutes. Your time starts now.
Sure.
Bhavya.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Bhavya Singh. I am currently pursuing my CA articleship at PricewaterhouseCoopers. I have completed my CA intermediate both groups and my CA foundation both in first attempt. In the year 2016 to 2018, I was the Telangana State Board topper in MEC. So, as a professional in the field of finance, and more importantly, as a youngster, I understand that choosing a right career is one of the most important decisions that a person has to make in his or her life. Because that is not only going to be a means of making a living throughout their life, but also a source from where they derive their constant happiness. So it is very important to choose a right career. Many people ask me that in this era where everyone is choosing MBBS, where everyone is choosing engineering, why did I choose finance? The answer that I give them is I was a person as an individual who was equally into academics and also into public speaking and co curricular activities. Finance as a profession personally helped me work and enhance both of my sides. As a result of which, I had been able to really excel in academics by getting a state top marks, and also I have been able to win many prizes in intercollegiate business quizzes and various product launch competitions, and I have been able to work on myself better. Now, if I have to tell you, there's only one career, or there, if you want to look for a career where there is least gap between the theoretical and the application part, I would recommend you finance. Also, if you're looking for a field which is more challenging than finance, it is, my friend. Because in finance, there are no established theorems or established principles. With every entity, every individual, every organization you meet, your knowledge is adapted and you grow and learn in finance. Also, as per the present economic conditions prevailing in our country, there are vast opportunities for finance professionals. I would also like to highlight that not only in our country, but if you're looking for flexible job opportunities overseas, there are huge opportunities for finance professionals overseas as well. I would also like to highlight a point here that when we talk about choosing a career in finance, it's not just the glamorized profession in finance like CA or CMA, but instead, as based on my personal experience, I would recommend you that you instead just analyze the various options available in finance and understand their scope, and then see what suits your personality and choose a career in finance accordingly. Now, how did I get to know that finance is the field for me? And how will you get to know that finance is a field for you? If you are a person who is intrusive, hardworking, who has stellar communication skills, because my friend, financial communications can get heated up and difficult. And also, if you are a person who is persistent, who has the urge to learn and grow every day rather than doing a 9 to 5 simple job, if you are a person who is a natural problem solver, or if you are a person who has good level of emotional quotient, then I must say that finance is the field for you. And one more point which I would like to highlight is the point of self-belief or trust, which is important for any career. I would like to share an instance from my own life, from my own 20 years of life. When I was writing my CA first level, it was called the CPT at that time. But when my attempt came, it changed suddenly from CPT to CA Foundation. I went to institute. It was in 2 months. My exam was in 2 months. I went to an institute and they told me that it is not possible to overcome this change of syllabus and study and pass CA in first attempt. But I thought that self-belief is very important. At that time, in those 2 months of time, I just thought that no institute or no other person can tell me what I am capable of achieving. I had to pass it. And I had that trust. I continued working hard and I passed that exam within 2 months in first attempt. Therefore, for any career, I would say it is very important to have love for what you do and also self-belief. At the end, I would like to conclude with a famous saying by Steve Jobs. If you want to do something great, do something you love. If you haven't found it yet, keep searching for it till you find it. Don't settle. Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening ahead.
All right. Thank you so much, Bhavya. Thanks for your time. And yes. Now I repent for not taking a commerce group and becoming an engineer and, finding out all the formulas for many things. Thanks a lot. And yes, do we have Geeta ma'am, please? Geeta ma'am, are you ready?
I hope so, sir.
Yes, you are. Please,
Okay.
you can make it short, please, in another 4 minutes time, please. Excuse us.
Okay.
Yeah, please.
Yes. So I've started with the financial this thing. So I told you that we make our habits, and then actually the habits makes us. This is true in the case of financial security of all of us.
Yeah.
And the life, actually in the life, when we make the habits of financial literacy, when we have the awareness, actually our life becomes secure. And the questions asked to me was actually when to start the financial education of the children. My opinion is the minute the child realizes that he cannot lift the things from the shop without your resources, that is the time when you have to start financial awareness of the child. Talk about money, talk about income, talk about expenditure. Slowly, talk about in his language. And slowly, you will build uh, actually an environment where the child can be slowly taken to the financial literacy classes. I think we started our classes in 2013 way back when we found that the children are not aware of the financial status of their parents. They are not aware what is commerce. So we started then NCFE and NISM. They started National Financial Literacy Awareness Test. Then that also we made all our children write. Then later on, slowly we started the Money Smart programs. That is
Okay.
also by the NISM and NCFE. But now the CBSE, the last year, they have started financial literacy, one of the skill subjects for the secondary classes. Now it is actually started for the sixth standard and the above classes. So the NCFE, NISM, and even the banks, they are all actually for the financial literacy classes for the children. So what I feel is, actually I had a lot of things to talk, but I'm
Please make
just
it short,
summing up
ma'am.
in
Yeah.
2-3 minutes.
Yeah, ma'am.
So
Thank you.
the thing is, what I feel is, you have to, that is a very essential life skill actually, financial education. For starting any career, for starting any other career options. Financial education is a integrated part of all these skills. So as we started the financial education, I think all the schools must make it a part of the curriculum. Financial awareness is very important, and I think most of the things, if you can call me later on, how to start and how to do it, everything I'm ready to share with everyone. So thank you very much, and I think, sir, I'm on time.
Thank you so much for considering. I mean,
Okay.
it's very important, I felt, and because we are running out of time. Thanks a lot, and please share anything you wanted to share with the entire group. I will put it in the group for that for you. Thank
Okay,
you so
sir.
much, and I now call upon Anirban to give a closing comments in 2 minutes time, please. Anirban, unmute. Yeah.
Thank you. It was a wonderful session today. We started off with our retired general manager from ECL, Sachitananda Garu, who spoke about how Indian students, despite their exposure to finance minimally, are yet not up to the mark because only 22% of us are really being exposed to financial education. Budgeting, family-based income expenditure analysis, being efficient, understanding the measurability of all the activities that we do, and also interacting with banking and financial professionals becomes the need of the hour, according to him. He also spoke about the importance of how general activities like conducting carnivals at your local residences or going into social activities like Scouts and JRC and playing games at a younger age like trade and business enable general financial discipline and awareness within the individual. He spoke about how financial understanding of property, equanimity between people and differences of income and wealth is very essential in the student of today. We were followed by a second speaker, Mr. Ramesh, who of the Kiyosaki Club fame spoke about financial distribution being unequal and how the inequalities are very large and pronounced in pretty much every geography. He spoke about lack of awareness in people is because of insufficient academic, professional, and basic financial education, and spoke about how spiritual money, competitive money, and individual personal wealth are different things, and how the art of making money is alone not enough, but the art of investing money, making money beget money is also important. He did touch upon the topics of how entrepreneurship enables your money to be revolved through corporations to save on taxes, to create employment for others, to improve economy overall, and to utilize the energy and resources of your people and your ecosystem. And that was followed upon by a brief message by Ms. Manjusha, who spoke about a very funny story on how smartness in making investments and playing with risk right can create wealth. She spoke about how teachers play an important role in bringing practicality to learning the principles of bullish, bearish, and stable behavior, balanced behavior. She spoke about how she uses games related to shares and futures and options and educates her students on the value of cryptocurrency and things like that. We then had a student, Ms. Bhavya, who spoke about how choosing the right career is about ensuring that you have the right skills to be a good financial expert. And she spoke about the following skills: persistence. She spoke about building trust and self-belief, about being in a balanced emotional quotient, about having good public relations and being able to speak well, and about having a balance between theoretical and practical understanding of finance. And she spoke about how finance needs to attune itself to the organization, and this in turn can create multiple avenues, both in the national and the international space. Finally, we had Mrs. Geeta Lakshmi briefly speak to us about how essential life skill to start over is financial education, which in turn acts as an input to all other career options of the day. I think that's about my 2 minutes. Back to the host, but with a closing comment of my own, which is financial education must not just teach what finances and money is about, but it should also teach about enterprising attitude. Not that we lack skills, not that we lack knowledge, not that we lack the resources, but despite the three, if you're lacking the right enterprising attitude, you may not be able to create value. And finance really is about creating value and seeking value in return. It is about the ability to understand not just making wealth for oneself or one's community, but also to look at sustainability for the future. The process of making wealth should not deplete your resources or your ecosystem in such a manner that one set of people get richer or smarter and powerful, and the other set of people or the other set of, I would say, larger living beings get exploited. So it's not just about how to make money, It's also about how to save it, how to invest it, and how to sustainably continue to invest it so that value keeps begetting value, not just wealth keeps making wealth. So wealth management is about definitely multiplying your wealth, but it's also about understanding risk assessment. How much risk should you take? How well can you remain solvent? I think all of that together makes financial education holistic. Back to the moderator.
Thank you so much, Anirban. And I'm sure maybe we may have to continue this as a part 2 also. Let us think about continuing so that we can have more exposure and in-depth knowledge of whatever points you have also shared. And now over to Charan, or shall I give it to Prasanna for voter thanks? Charan. Charan.
Thank you, Raghuram sir, Anirban sir, and all the today's speakers. What a wonderful session. I can say, for a person like me who never had any control of money, who never managed my pocket, and for all the people who think financial literacy is a rocket science, this session has definitely added value. Thank you for all the incredible insights. Today I understood that money matters. Now it's time to invite none other than our Utsahin Prasanna ma'am for sharing the vote of thanks. Ma'am, over to you.
Thank you, Sai Charan. Namaste, good evening, everyone, whoever is present today. Firstly, thank you very much for joining us today. On behalf of Team Utsahin, we would like to extend special thanks to all our speakers today for educating us so much. Seriously, this was a really value-added session for all of us. Sachidanand sir, your ideas and your advices about teaching or giving financial knowledge to children are very useful, sir. Thank you very much for sharing with us today. Ramesh sir, one thing I'm going to take home today is that financial spirituality, it's a completely new term for me. So thank you very much for sharing us and bringing that up today. Thank you, sir. Geeta Lakshmi ma'am, as usual, it's always very nice to listen to you, but unfortunately lack of time, we couldn't hear you. But whatever you said, ma'am, thank you very much for sharing with us. And Manjusha ma'am, we would thank you very much. I would like to use your quote in my teaching. Thank you very much, if you don't mind. It was a lovely thing to say that. Thank you, ma'am. And Bhavya, firstly, kudos to your confidence. Thank you very much and sharing us. You actually inspired a lot of students today. Thank you, Bhavya, once again for joining. And an event like this will not happen overnight or with a single individual. We are very fortunate to have a very beautiful and wonderful team with us. So thanks to all the team Utsahin for making this happen today. Thank you, everybody, for working towards achieving this event today. And thank you, Raghuram sir, for facilitating today. Thank you, Sai Charan, for always being in the front and carrying us in the event. And thank you, Anirban sir, for the lovely closing comments. And we would like to thank sincerely for our media partners, TV Asia, for helping us going live. Thank you, everyone, for joining today. Good evening. Once again, thank you all. Over to Sai Charan.
Thank you, Prasanna ma'am. Now I would like to request all the participants to stand up for the national anthem.